Hello, everyone. This is Coach Paul coming to you from Bangkok, Thailand. But originally, I grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I have been overseas for 21 years now. I'm making this video to help teachers who are interviewing now for uh, ESL jobs online or in person. There seems to be a lot, a lot of jobs going. And my background, as I said, is I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, but I went to Pennsylvania State University or Penn State University, and my purpose was first to travel, and I went on an internship to France in 1999. I I I then went to live in London after leaving school in 2001. I also went to Australia, excuse me, which in England I did consulting. In Australia, I did investment banking. And so, and over the years, English has become my purpose because it's been so involved in my life that after I left Australia, I went to China. And I was hired as a financial controller and a marketing manager for a South Korean company. And they were not a company that you would want to work for because I didn't want to work for them. I was there, I hired a staff of about 6 people plus myself. I had assistant marketing manager. I had assistant controller or someone to help me with the financials of the company. I also had 3 other marketing people. Were 3 girls who to promote and advertise. And then we had another marketing person for guests and things. So yeah, I think we're at 6 people. And it was actually about the 6th or 7th week that we came back from a weekend, and all the employees that worked in the factory were still locked in. They had rations and were really disgusting looking, and I quit. I quit on the spot. I confronted the owner. He told me, his exact words was, "You have to treat them like animals because that's what they are." And I just said, that's wrong. It's ridiculous. So he threatened me. He said if I did anything that I'd probably spend the rest of my life in jail, that kind of thing. So anyhow, out of that horrible experience, we sort of started an English school, and it wasn't my idea. I never taught English in my life. I ended up being very opposed to the idea, but a few people, all my staff or the people that worked with me, quit also because they were appalled about the behavior. and they didn't sign up for that as either. So anyhow, we came to the conclusion that the only thing we could do, we were looking at export, import, and an English school. And after doing a business plan and enough research, we didn't have enough upfront money to do a import export school, so we did an English school. Well, I wasn't convinced that as a businessman that we had enough knowledge. So I called a school that was all over China at the time. They had branches everywhere, but the one closest to me was a place called Harbin, and it's the coldest city in China. It's on the Russian border in northeast in Manchuria. And the director of studies there was an American. And I told him about, I didn't have much experience, what we were doing. He said, sure. He said, we start our next semester in 5 days. If you can be here before then you can see how everything works. It starts. You can stay a couple weeks or the whole term, whatever you feel comfortable with. Well, I ended up getting there for the start. I stayed the whole 5 terms, slept on his couch, and I learned a lot. I was teaching classes. It was unbelievable what I learned. Not only about how to teach and the curriculum, but a whole host of things, like class size, and I could go on and on, but you basically color schemes, class size, the ratio of boys to girls in a classroom, depending on their age, and just a lot of different things. Also, the culture that you're in makes the difference of those things. So then I went back to Yanji, where preparations were already beginning to start our school, and they had found a 4-bedroom apartment pretty close to the city center, and so we made the decision to rent it. And however, I told them I still needed a few weeks to research and make sure that we did it right, because we weren't building the school at that time, but we were renting a place, so we weren't going to paint the walls and all that thing. We weren't allowed. But what we needed to know is, uh, basically how to do a syllabus or design the class, um, how to make a system. I learned a lot of that in English First in Harbin, but Dan's English, who I talked to Dan, in that 2 weeks, wow. I would say this might be an exaggeration. We spoke at least 100 hours. I don't know. We spoke a lot, and I promised him to get to Japan, but I never did. Anyhow, so we started Paul's English with 8 students in 4 bedrooms. I slept in one of the bedrooms. Was able to fold the bed out and make a classroom during the day. After a year, uh, we were we had me as a foreign teacher and 4 Chinese teachers. We were highly successful. We were saving money to build a school, and we got approached by a woman named Martha, which I gave her that name, uh, her English name. And Martha, her son was in our very first class, and he was a brilliant boy, and she proposed to become our third partner, and and so we sat down, and she said that she would like to become a partner, and we said, well, we need to build a school, and she says, how much do you need? And we said $25,000, but by our estimation, after talking to a couple of construction crews and everything. And I'll be honest with you, after I got to know her so well that she agreed to the 25,000, but I think she got it for much cheaper because she's the one who arranged it all. She was very smart. Anyhow, she became a third partner. That in the original contract, I was 51% owner. Barry was 49%. However, in the third partner situation, I was 45, Barry was 30, and Martha was 25. So, however, we just kept going up and up and up, expanding more and more and more. We had 8 foreign teachers. We did great. Long story short, we got arrested a lot. We got fined a lot. We were constantly tormented by the police and Chinese officials. Except I was never arrested. I never got arrested. They would arrest my teachers, foreign teachers, and say that I didn't have the license to bring them into the country, which was not true. And we went back and forth. This kept on continuing. Finally, I told my partners I can't live in this environment and be an effective teacher. Well, and also we owned a restaurant, which they abused also. I would like to tell you something that let us go on. Well, I guess it's appropriate. It's not too bad, but it is China. Martha got us connected with the mafia, who controlled the police. And we paid them a monthly stipend, or a monthly payment. So the police didn't arrest us anymore, which was not, something I wanted. Anyhow, this is probably I'm going to have to end this tape here, but yeah, let us end this tape here, and then we'll come back.